Mukasey. I think he's trying to tread a minefield that was laid down for him by that sycophantic little yes weasel, Alberto Gonzales. He who wrote the memos in secret saying the Geneva Conventions didn't apply to American military when it came to enemy combatants, who wrote secret memos saying the President of the United States didn't have to obey the FISA court laws when it came to spying on Americans. That kind of subterfuge of the American rule of law is an entirely separate issue from whether or not waterboarding is torture or whether or not surveillance under these conditions or those conditions is a good idea. And now Mr. Mukasey can't say waterboarding is torture, because if he does, liability suddenly accrues to a whole lot of folks, and who knows what the consequences are. Meanwhile, Gonzales is wandering around happy as a clam. He ought to be in jail for what he did. He didn't answer questions on Capitol Hill. He didn't cooperate with the subpoenas. He couldn't remember anything when he was asked, and then he's allowed to resign and just walk out into the sunshine. I feel sorry for Mr. Mukasey.
Rachel, can you beat that?
Well, I think we do have to define torture. I mean, one man's torture is another man's CIA-sponsored swim lesson. But, I mean, I want to take issue with Jack Cafferty said about the enemy combatants. These are not prisoners of war. They are enemy combatants.
That's not
and
the
it
point.
it's perfectly legal, as per the Peace of Westphalia, to line them up against the nearest wall on the battlefield and shoot them.
That's
but we
not
obviously,
the point. You don't
but the CIA
write
isn't doing this for
secret memos.
kicks.
You don't write secret memos saying the Geneva Convention, which we signed on to after a long time ago, no longer applies, so we can carry out some other agenda. That's not the way this country works. Whether or not you line these people up against a wall is a separate issue. I don't care what you do with them. But you got to respect the traditions and the laws of this country. Look, and this president hasn't done that.
Guys, we got to leave. Rachel, hold your fire, because you'll be back. Carl Bernstein will be back. Jack's not going anywhere because he's going to come.